Hey, what's good, y'all? Fuzion here, back with another video. So real quick, this is just the intro. I'm gonna go ahead and be listening to all of the Kendrick albums, and then I'm gonna go ahead and rank them. So it's probably gonna take me all day to do that, of course. So yeah, I'll see you guys when I am done. Peace. Today we're gonna go ahead and be ranking some Kendrick Lamar albums. It was just like I stated in my intro there. I had to take some time, go listen to a couple of all the albums here. And now I just wanted to rank them myself. I hate that Overly Dedicated isn't on here. I was actually just listening to it again not too long ago. But I would put Overly Dedicated at B. I think it's a solid first project. There's some good songs on there. There's a couple skippables in my opinion. I don't really like that Alien Girl song. Michael Jordan is somewhat awkward sometimes, but I don't think it's that bad. That's where that I would put that one at B. But that's where we're gonna start. Next up, we got Section 80. This one actually came out 2011. I think it was his debut TDE album. It had a couple great songs. One of my favorite songs, Hold Up, second song on the album. That wasn't the first Kendrick song I heard, but that was like the Kendrick song where I was like, okay, I actually like this guy. He has flow. He can create a good story in the song. He can also talk about like mature subjects, but not make it sound cringe or preachy sometimes. And I think that's a skill within itself. I think a lot of great rappers need that skill to let me rephrase that. If you are going to be a educational quote unquote bar type of rapper, or someone who tries to put heavy themes in their music, I feel like you have to make it accessible. Excuse me. So just that skill within itself, he really did well with Section 80. I would honestly put this at A. I think it's a great project. My favorite tracks on here, again, Hold Up, ADHD, for all of my GTA fans out there. Man, every single time I hear that song, I just go back to GTA, man. The Ronald Reagan era, Po Man's Dream, Keisha's song, Rigor Mortis, Cushion Corinthians, him and BJ the Chicago Kid, Absol's outro. I can't wait to listen to some new Absol next week, excuse me. But I just think it was an overall great debut. This pretty much set the tone for what TDE is. There's, again, a lot of substance, a lot of great songs on there, flows. Again, like the Rigor Mortis song, Po Man's Dream, Ronald Reagan era, those flows on there were disgusting. F your ethnicity. The first track, he was flowing. It was interesting. But I put that at A. It's a great track. Or album rather. Next, we got Good Kid, M.A.A.d City. Arguably, his best album. Arguably top 10, top 5 album of all time. You have a case for it. Personally, I think this is damn near perfect. I was actually listening to it at work. I do a lot of my music listening at work while I'm working. I just put it on in my headphones and I just play it out. Sometimes I don't hear it all the way, but with this album, there are songs on there while I'm listening. While I'm taking my call and stuff, hearing it and being like, dang, like this, it still bumps. This came out in 2012. I think the deluxe also came out in 2012. I prefer the non-deluxe version, but I don't think that the deluxe version was bad at all. That added The Recipe, which is a great song. Black Boy Fly, it's okay. Now or Never for all of my 2K fans. I think that was 2K12 or 2K13. I can't remember. But the Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe as well. The remix with Jay-Z. Jay-Z smacked him. Had to have Kendrick Lamar add another verse afterward. Then I think that's when Kendrick realized that he can't be slacking. But overall, man, I love this album. I think it's great. I don't know if it's my favorite of his, but I think it's a fantastic album. A couple of my favorite tracks on here. Money Trees, of course. J-Rock, he is... that verse, man. That's probably one of the best verses on the album. And that's saying something. People are really sleeping on J-Rock. Next up, To Pimp a Butterfly. Now, first listen, I really didn't like it. It came out in 2015. I really didn't. It really didn't hit me until maybe a year or two later, which I've actually heard a lot of people say that this album hit them a year or two later. From the beginning, Wesley's Theory with Thundercat. This is the first time I ever heard of Thundercat. And he's like a bass player. He can sing to a certain extent, but his bass is just disgusting on these songs. And you can hear the funk elements. You can hear, not to sound, like that guy, but like you can hear the creativity. You can hear the substance. You can hear the different layers in quite a bit of the songs. Wesley's Theory, great. For Free. It is more of a spoken word type of thing, which was different, which is crazy. Oh, actually, let me go back to Good Kid, M.A.A.d City real quick. Swimming Pools. That should not have been a single. And by that I mean, this dude is talking about alcoholism. He's talking about fear. He's talking about loss because of alcoholism, and that was on the radio. That's not unheard of, but it's very uncommon for a song with that amount of substance and layers to just be on the radio. And I think that in itself, that is exactly who Kendrick Lamar is. He can put out stuff and have a deeper meaning, but also still be catchy and still be a great song. I did just want to touch on that, but let's go back to Pimp a Butterfly. Again, For Free was a spoken word type of thing. King Kunta, just that bass, man. I got a bone to pick. It just makes you want to step, It's very, I honestly, like, the best word, just, it's just very black. Like, it makes you feel good. And again, with this album, it's definitely a feel-good album, but it also gives you a lot of nuggets and ideas and knowledge just from institutionalized. I can't speak, but he was flowing on it. Snoop was the perfect addition because his voice just was smooth on it, and it just sounded like your uncle or someone that, like some sort of OG just talking to you. It's just something that Snoop Dogg does well, and then it was perfect for Kendrick to put him on there. Institutionalized. Great track. These Walls, I liked how he flipped from being in some cat to being in a cell. 2 different walls. It's just crazy. I'm going to return to You and All Right, actually, because I feel like those are very, very important. Mama, one of my favorite songs. Hood Politics is great. Black of the Berry. I actually did skip how much a dollar costs. My bad. That song right there. Excellent from top to bottom as far as storytelling wise. You wouldn't really know what was going to happen unless you play the whole song through. It's a it's a cool song, but I think the theme, how he was rapping, what he was saying, that greed, seeing, someone like Kendrick Lamar, who is a very elusive person, seeing him make this mistake, even though it may not just be him, but it almost lets you identify with that. Actually, that does remind me. Sorry for going all over the place, but that's just how. When I listen to Kendrick, there's a lot of stuff for me to talk about for like the albums. But just real quick, going back to Good Kid, M.A.A.d City again. Sing About Me, Dying of Thirst. That song right there, man, that hits, man. It's a different type of song. M.A.A.d City, it just hits. It's The Art of Peer Pressure. Those songs have substance, have bars. Excuse that. You learn. I think this is a good starting point for people who are just starting to get into more of a, I don't want to say underground hip hop, because that's not what it is. It's more of a like traditional hip hop, I guess is what I could say. I think once you get to a certain part in your lifespan of liking rap music, of liking hip hop music, I think this and To Pimp a Butterfly are albums that you have to listen to. I think that's on par with quite a bit of Biggie projects, Tupac projects, some Jay-Z projects, like The Blueprint. Those are albums that you have to listen to for you to really like connect the dots and see how rap grows. So yes, let me get back to Pimp a Butterfly real quick again. Yeah, but I already talked about how much $1 costs. A complexion, and don't means a thing. Great song. Rhapsody flowed on that shit. Top 3 verse on the album for sure. But my favorite for sure is You. I definitely have issues, so that's why. But it's you hear his rawness. I think that's something that is undercredited sometimes when people make music, when people make rap songs, or just sing in general. You can get a lot across just from how your voice inflections are. Just hearing him just scream, like it's a meme now, but when you do hear the track again, you hear his pain, his sadness, his loneliness, his fear. And it's just a great track. Definitely one of my favorites. You Ain't Gotta Lie. I love that track as well. I don't know if I like the live version more than the regular version, but it's still a great track. Mortal Man, When Shit Hits the Fan, Is You Still a Fan? That song was very strong to me as well. It puts stuff in perspective a lot. I think that's what Kendrick does well, is he puts out, he'll say something like, when shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? And then he brings up Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, and then he'll bring up those type of people who are known in the black community and have done some crazy shit. Don't get me wrong, but it's also like, if Kendrick did those things, or if Kendrick did something to where that some sort of rumor or something, will we ride for Kendrick, or will he drop him off? Now, R. Kelly, he's a piece of shit. Fuck him. Michael Jackson, I think he's a perfect example of when shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? He has trauma on trauma on trauma. He's gone through it. That don't mean that we excuse anything he's done or hasn't done, but I feel like he is the prime example of when shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? Everybody's still a fan of Mike, but it is what it is, I just think that the album as a whole is just great, Now let's go to All Right, which is I think it's the main single on the album. It is a very anthem type of song. It's it's supposed to make you feel good. If God got us, then we gonna be all right. And people were really twisting it, saying he was saying if you hate Popo, want to kill us dead in the street for show. Niggas was hating on that. Now, not niggas, white people, crackers, they was hating on that. And he's not saying that he hates the Popo. He's saying that he is speaking from someone who has who is struggling in the hood, or who is struggling because of certain circumstances, and making it, and the police making it worse. But despite all that, despite the hate that we're receiving, despite the racism, despite the police brutality, despite all that, we gonna be all right because God got us. I think that's an excellent track, and it's still, to this day, 2022, going into 2023, I still hear that song when it's some sort of quote unquote black function, some sort of protest, something like that. It's an anthem song. It's not my favorite song because I think it got overplayed. It's not like the song's fault, but I just think after you play it all the time, like your ear gets tired of hearing it. But I went back to the song. I mean, while I was listening to the album again and hearing the song, it's still a great song to me. These flip-flop all the time. You could put this in front, or you could do this in front. I think, again, just like I was saying with Good Kid, M.A.A.d City, this top 5, top 10 album of all time, arguably. One of those albums that, if you are a huge rap fan, huge hip-hop fan, or consider yourself a hip-hop head, this is something on the list that you have to listen to, for sure. I enjoy it. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to Untitled, Unmastered. Untitled, Unmastered, it is a sort of B-sides. I don't really judge it as an album, but there are some good songs on there. Let me go ahead and pull up the track list real quick, because they have weird it's like dates instead of actual track listing. But the Untitled, Unmastered 2, I think that's the Levitate one. I think it's 2. That one is great. It just Untitled 1 as well. You can hear the funk influences all throughout this. I think Untitled 6 is the one with CeeLo Green. For some reason, I really do enjoy that song. Your mama raised you, your daddy raised you, hand washing your clothes on Sunday. For some reason, just that one line, it sticks out to me because it does remind me of home. I think that's something Kendrick does well, and I feel like that's an important aspect of a good rap song or a rap album, is the black experience. And he does it so well and so differently. It's not just the, at the drugs part or the gangbanging part. It's small things. Hand washing your clothes on Sunday, let me explain. Your mama raised you, your daddy come on, man. But I have to put it at B though. It's a B-sides. It's just side projects. Side songs that were throwaways, but you can hear if they had a little bit of tweaking, if they cleaned it up just a little bit, those could be great songs. And this little 8-pack is better than quite a bit of other rappers' full albums. So I think that we got to acknowledge that. And then it also has you thinking, what else is in this dude's trash? Or what else is in this dude's hard drive? Or what else is in this dude's USB? It's just, or even in his garbage can. I just imagine the verses he has written and was like, nah, that's not good enough. That right there is just crazy to me. But I put that at a B. It's fine, but it is what it is. Next up, Damn. And you can notice that all of these albums sound completely different. Damn is a lot more mainstream. It has a couple great songs on there. A DNA is an anthem. I like y'all. Y'all's fire to me. Element, I'm gonna slap up and make him look sexy. That song is hilarious to me. But then you also have songs like Feel, Pride, Fear, Duckworth, God. These songs are, what's the word? I feel like they're statements, I guess. That Feel song, how he talks about what he's feeling, what he's going through, what he is understanding, what he's experiencing. I think that's a hard song to make and to not make it sound preachy. There were a couple songs on To Pimp a Butterfly that could sound preachy. I have heard people say it does sound preachy to them. I don't think it does, but I can hear it. With Damn, with Feel, with Fear, those don't sound preachy. They sound like he performs well with his storytelling. Fear is probably one of my favorite songs on the album because he talks about what he is scared of through the different points of his life. As a kid, he feared that whooping. Again, something that is I can relate to. A lot of Black Americans can relate to. The fear of not being home when those street lights come on. You know, that's just, he encapsulates the Black experience so well in these albums, and it's just, you know, it's great to hear. Humble, it was the breakout single. It's fine. I don't really like it no more. Again, it's just overplayed. After I did listen to it again, it's cool. Definitely, I think it's the weakest single that he has. But I don't think it's bad. Loyalty, I actually like Loyalty. I liked how Rihanna was doing her little sing rap. She was actually flowing. Whatever. Feel is great as well. I would put this actually right behind Section 80, right here. I think it fits here. Again, these two can be switched off. I think these are S tier projects easily. I think these are A tier. You could make an argument to put it up here. I like it here. But damn, you know, it was a very it was an interesting project because you could play it like the opposite and then like from bottom to top, and it'll still feel like a story. It loops well, and I think that's something that is also a slept on skill. I think he does that well. Earl Sweatshirt on not his most recent project, and not Feet of Clay, the one before that. The name is escaping me right now. Let me go ahead and look it up real quick. But I think if you can, some rap songs, excuse me. There it is, some rap songs. If you can make a album that can loop well and not sound weird or cringe or just off, I think that's a skill in itself. And I think it's an underrated one because that will have you listen to it again and being like, oh, well, now it feels like he's saying this and this and this. So I just think that's a skill. I do want to touch on Duckworth as well. That another great storytelling track. Storytelling, I believe, is a key part of being a great rapper. In my opinion, you can't be one of the best rappers if you don't know how to tell a great story. All great rappers can tell a story in their music. Even though sometimes I don't like Drake, Drake knows how to tell a story. J. Cole knows how to tell a story. Jay-Z knows how to tell a story. I think that's a very important part of rap, and he does it well there, you know? So I put that at A, right behind Section 80. My favorite track on there might be Y'all. I don't know why, just something about that. I got so many theories and suspicions. I'm diagnosed with real nigga condition. Today is the day I follow my intuition. Keep the family close. Get my something about that. Like the way he was rapping, it was almost like he was, I don't know the right word is slurring or drowning or lazy, but it's interesting. It perks my ear up because it's different. Again, all of these albums sound completely different except for these two, but this is a B-sides of this. But it's all of it sounds different. So another one that was left off was the Black Panther soundtrack. I put that at B, maybe right in front of this. There's a couple good songs on there. Black Panther, the first song on there, I thought it was good. All the Stars with SZA. I love SZA, so SZA could just cough on the mic and I would like it. Paramedics was just lit. Blood in the Water, King's Dead, La Di Da Di Da, Shlaba Me Knob, Pass Me Some Shirt, Put Me in that Cough. It's just fire. Big Shot was okay. But that would usually be at B, right in front of here, maybe behind here, low key. I don't know. I don't really know how to judge a good music soundtrack because it went well with the soundtrack though. I mean with the movie. It went well with the movie for sure. Lastly, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, his most recent album. For those of you who don't know, this was my album of the year for 2022. Another very, very mature album. You definitely learn a lot just from listening to it. You learn about therapy. You learn about having a black father and seeing what it is to like the toxic masculinity of having a black father, not knowing how to raise a black son as far as understanding emotions, saying it's okay to show emotions, saying it's okay to struggle and all of that. It's just, hey, just get over it. The fact that someone who is as big as him, makes something like that, I think it has to be studied. From United We Grieve to N95, Worldwide Steppers, those songs, something about that, again, the Worldwide Steppers, something about that song, it does give me yaw vibes from Damn. It's like, I don't know, I don't know if the word is quirky, but it's different enough to where it's perking my ears and it makes me want to listen to it again. That was actually my most played song this year, which is a random song, but I don't know. Something about it, it was just great. I already did a full review on I already talked about it being my album of the year. I went into depth with it as well. But I feel like I need to sit with this some more. I'm going to put this here, right in between this, because in my opinion, with Kendrick Lamar albums, you need at least a year or two to digest them fully. That's how I feel with quite a bit of projects. That's how I feel with Ab-Soul's projects, even though his are more bar, punchline, intellectual, quote unquote, focused. Kendrick's albums, you have to adjust. It's crazy that he went from mainstream album. No, it's crazy that he went to something like this, which is a more, not traditional rap, but it brought back the skits. It brought back the storytelling. It's definitely a great storytelling album. That could be a movie. And then you go to a jazz album, damn near, or a funk album. And then you go to a more mainstream album, which still has storytelling elements, strong storytelling elements. And then you go to a therapeutic album. I think that in itself, I don't think there's a lot of other rappers who have the versatility to make 5 different projects almost sound almost sound completely different, not sound the same. So that's a skill to me. I think my favorite album switches. I think it definitely goes between these 3. These, like, I don't know. As of right now, I think that this is my favorite album of his at the moment. I don't know what it is about this album. I just resonate with it so well, and it just speaks to me. But non-biasedly, I think this is how it would look. Again, these two, A-B, 1A, 1B, easily. It's fair to say that this is his second or third favorite best project. Excuse me. You can tell right here. Just it was his first one on TDE, so you can see the growth and that type of stuff. But tell me what you guys think in the comments. I will have my album of the year sort of breakdown in the description as well. Tomorrow I have his complete opposite, actually, in my opinion. His album rankings as well done. So make sure you guys are paying attention and subscribe and all that. All right, well, see y'all later. Peace.